Well, that's this morning's little mini project. I got my gauges mounted in the housing, I guess I'll call it. Yesterday, I took the boat over to Coville. They drilled the holes in the transom to mount the motor, and I was going to take a video of that, but I got to talking to all the guys over there, and before I was through talking, they were through with those holes. But I'll show you how they look. There they are, 4 strategically placed holes. Now I got to treat those holes. Got to treat those holes with penetrating epoxy, and I got to do that about 3 times. I'll show you what I'm using here. Total Boat penetrating epoxy. And according to the directions on the back of that jug there, this stuff's really thin. It's almost as thin as water, and I can cut it 1-to-1 with alcohol, which makes it even thinner. And then it'll penetrate in the wood in the transom there, inside those holes. It'll penetrate probably up to 1/8 of an inch deep or so. That way, if I get any water intrusion in there, due to torque on the motor and whatnot, or whatever, over the years, even if those holes get wet, it just won't affect the wood at all. It'll be inert. So that's the plan for today. Get that epoxy down in there real well. Let it soak into that wood. Takes a little while for it to absorb into the wood, so I got to keep doing this. This epoxy takes all day to dry, and it's made that way on purpose so that it gives it plenty of time to soak into the fibers of this lumber here. And then I will I'll do this 3 times, just to make sure that everything is really well sealed up. And then of course when the motor's on there, nobody's going to see these holes anyway, but water could get in there. Every piece of lumber on this boat is covered with this same penetrating epoxy. Waterproofing. And that's the way that works. It's not hard to do, it's not tedious, it just takes a long time. It takes 3 days to get this done. And then a 4th day for it to all harden so you can work with it, put a bolt through there or whatever. I'm not going to mount this motor until spring, for a couple reasons for that, but I have a lot of other work to do in the meantime, and if the motor's back here, well, for one thing, it'd be in my way for some things, and in other things, the warranty will start ticking off, and I don't want to hang them on here until I'm ready to use the boat, which will be next spring. Okay, well this is obviously where the dash is going to fit right on top of here. I've got all of these switches wired up. They're all done except for putting the cover on it. I can't put that on there. That actually goes on last. So down inside of here, these are the hoses that go to the steering. And they hook up behind the helm here at these fittings right here. So you have to be able to get in here to hook those up, both from the top and from the bottom. You can reach in here if you got to hold 2 wrenches or whatever. All the wiring is down in there. Some of it runs up to the VHF radio or the stereo, the speakers, the lights, and all of that. But down underneath the steering wheel here, I got all my wiring in here. These are all my fuses. This is the hot lead here. This is a switched battery positive switch. Switched power, I mean. This is always hot. These are my fuses that feed everything. These are all the connectors that go to everything else in the boat, including these switches over here. And that's what I've been working on in the last couple of days. I got all that done now, except for I ran out of a couple connectors. I have to get another package or 2 of those. And then I'll be done with the wiring, except for the downriggers. I got the downrigger mounts here. These aren't mounted, they're just sitting here. But that's about where they're gonna go. The plug-in for the downrigger will go here. So you mount the downrigger on here, plug it into power here, and there'll be some holders here that hold those big lead balls for the downrigger. I got some 15-pound ones and some 10-pound ones. And there'll be another downrigger right over here. I put that blanket on there because I'm constantly crawling over the top of this gunnel here and I don't want to mark it all up, so that's what the blanket's doing. I put this grip tape on here yesterday. I got some on the left, or the starboard and the port side, and also up on my step there, grip tape. You'll be coming in and out of the boat here. I'm going to be making handles to hang on to both here and on the other side there. I'll have to make them out of pipe or something and weld them up, and then I got to send them to the chromer to get all beautified. That's coming up in the next couple of weeks, I suppose. But today now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the floor on the bow deck, and that's right up here. I got it all taped off here. Basically what I did was I painted gray. It's going to be gray. I painted gray all around the perimeter, let that dry for a couple of days. Then I put this tape on here because what I'm going to do is put texturing material on there, grip stuff. It's called soft sand. This is what that soft sand looks like. It's called soft sand rubber texturizing particles for paint. And basically what it is, it's like sand except it's made out of rubber. So if you're walking around on it in your bare feet, it'll be more comfortable. So the way this works is I'll take a roller and paint all the rest of this, and while the paint is wet I'll sprinkle all of this stuff in there, all over there. I'll put it on there real thick and then just let it dry, let the paint cure for a day or 2. Then I sweep up all the extra that didn't stick and I put another 2 coats of paint on top of that to hold it down in there. And after that, all of this area up in the front here, that's all going to be finished. Then the only thing left to do is install whatever goodies I come up with and paint the rest of this floor here. That's my vacuum there, but I'll be painting the floor the same way as the bow deck, but I'll do this last because I don't want to get it all marked up before I'm done with it. I'll probably paint this in the spring because I'll be in here working, doing various things for quite a while here. Buying toys and hooking them up, and I got to make some steps to get in and out of here. I'll attach a step or 2 there, right there. So you'll step up 1 or 2 steps, step on top of this seat. I got to get pads made for the top of this seat and that seat right here. I'll have to have somebody do that for me. I don't do that kind of stuff. So you'll step up here, step on this grip tape here or whatever, and then step off onto the dock. Or make somebody walk the plank, I suppose, if it comes down to that. But anyway, I'm getting there. And that's the progress up to now. The date is it's October 5th today. And it'll be that way all day, I suppose. And if I have any more updates, I'll let you know. Well, there's my soft sand. I got it all spread out best I could. I know that's really hard to see probably on camera. I'm just going to let this sit here for a couple of days and let as much of that as possible adhere to the floor. And I'll sweep up the rest, and hopefully I got a nice even coat on there. We're going to find out, I guess. I guess if I missed a few spots, won't hurt to put more down on top of some paint, as long as it's rough when I'm done. And that's that. Well, that's how it looks. It's nighttime now, so I don't have that much light in here. But I got a nice crisp edge around the outside, around the perimeter. And I don't know why this isn't focusing here. And I'm going to put another coat of gray paint on top of this. It's really pretty hard to see. But that's the way it looks right now.